Well, those are some of the major rallies that happened today. We had Kakamega, we had right here in Nairobi, Jubilee and Court having their major final rally. And yes, the IEBC states that it's clearly ready for the election, and we are counting hours now. We're not counting days now. It's a matter of hours. And now Bomas of Kenya will be the tallying center for this. And I'll now take you to Sophia Wanuna, who will interview IEBC officials and just to find out the preparedness they have ahead of the election. Sophia, over to you.
Thank you very much, Eric Njoko. We are live at the Bomas of Kenya, the Election National Tallying Center. As I mentioned earlier, it is from here that all the results will be streaming in from the county level, the constituency level. And of course, the tallying center, the election here at the Bomas of Kenya, the Election Tallying Center is divided and consists of four main parts. There is the tallying center, which is the building in front of the one I'm seated in right now. Right now, I'm in the results display auditorium. There are screens all around, and it is from these screens that, of course, the results will be displayed. And of course, all media houses, including KTN, has a signal from which everybody will be able to see the results as they come in live from the different locations, from the different polling stations. There's also a media center and a call center as well, where members of the public can make their queries known. But right now, I'm joined by the IEBC C.E.O James, Oswago, a man who has not seen much sleep the last couple of days, had busy, crazy schedules they have been for you. But a quick questions for you. First, how prepared are you? How well prepared do you feel at this juncture regarding the election?
Well, we are very prepared. All the materials have been distributed. This place is about complete. And I think you can never say you are 100% prepared until you start an election. But in this case, I think we are very, very prepared. I'll leave it like that.
Okay. There were some claims that the voter identification devices are not sufficient for all the polling stations around the country. Is this the case? And if so, then what happens for those polling stations that do not have these devices?
Number one, that is not true. We have sufficient voter evidence. We have enough of those.
Okay.
The problem we have is that some of the kids keep on breaking. And they're breaking because of the long distance that they travel. You know, you can fly a kit up to, say, Wajir, that from Wajir to the next polling station, which could be 300-400 kilometers away, we are finding that they are suffering breakages and malfunctions. That is a challenge, but we are addressing that as we go along by either provisioning enough spares and making sure that those spares are available in those particular areas.
All right.
But I think we have enough kits to distribute around, and we hope that by Monday we'll have enough in the polling station to do the work. In
the event that some polling stations by opening time 6 a.m. there are no electronic voter identification devices, what happens? Do they only rely on the black books, the registers?
Well, first of all, you don't have a black book.
The register.
But you have a register.
Yes.
And that register has got your numerical details, meaning your name, your ID card number, and everything else. And the distinctive feature about this register, which was not there before, is that it has your photograph. So the clerk or the electoral official is able to identify you by the name, because you'll have brought your ID card, matching your ID card against your name, and also visually by seeing that you are the person that is in front of them.
Okay.
We could use that. But this is an eventuality which we hope we don't get into.
Okay.
We hope we'll be able to have the machines working. We hope we'll be able to have it there as a backup, but a backup which we don't end up using.
All right.
But when the worst comes to the worst, in order to facilitate actual elections, we may have to. But I want to repeat, that we don't want to go there.
Okay.
We have only placed it there just in case there is no other alternative.
All right. The IEBC has been very clear and categorical in saying that closing of polling stations is 5 p.m. And of course, if there was lateness in beginning the process, that will be extended. But also, if by that time there are still people on queue, they will be allowed to vote. In the event, by midnight, past midnight, there's still people on queue. Will they still be allowed to vote? Say 2 a.m., there's still some people who were there from 5 p.m.
First of all, I don't see that happening.
Okay. In
Because
the event it happens.
I don't see that happening because, number one, if it hits 5 o'clock when you are still on the queue, it is only those people who will be on the queue at 5 o'clock that will be allowed to vote. No new entrant would be allowed to start voting. So I see only those ones who are on the queue will be allowed to vote. You know?
Okay.
And I don't see people voting up to 5 o'clock.
Okay. And one more question. By what time? Of course, the IBC chairman had mentioned 48 hours within, after the closing of the polling stations, we expect the presidential announcement. It's key. Everybody's waiting for it. Is that still the position or has it changed?
That is still the position. It could come a little bit much earlier, but that is still the position.
Okay. Final question. The results, they'll be counted first, the presidential papers, the ballot papers, then the National Assembly MP, county rep, senator, woman rep, and governor. Why that order from president to MP? Why that order?
Well, number one, I think it is understood that the key thing, the main motivating thing in this election is the presidential election.
Right.
So you start with the presidential election. Secondly, there is an order in which these things are cited in law, not necessarily to show the order of importance, but if you look at the way the law says, even the way we are arranging the ballots, we arrange them in a particular order. There may be no significance to this, but that is the order which we want to follow.
Okay.
Yeah. But I also think some of these, if you look at it, some of these are at the national level, so the others are at the county level. The president and the National Assembly at the national level, the others are officers at the county level.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. CEO. We appreciate your time for joining us on set here at the Bomas of Kenya. We've been talking to the IEBC CEO, James Oswago. You've heard what he had to say on some of the various questions we had for him tonight. As we mentioned, this is the National Election Tallying Center. There is a website by which, of course, you as well, from wherever you are, you can also be able to access the results as they come in. vote.iebc.or.ke. But of course, keep it KTN throughout election day. This is your authoritative election channel. And I'll hand you back to Linda Ogutu at the election center.